How you regulate your nervous system when you're triggered, when you feel like you're spiraling out of control, will determine everything when it comes to you staying in your elevated self-concept. If you feel like you get triggered a lot or you're dealing with a lot of undesired circumstances, this video is going to help you. It really helped me. This is what I did. Stick around. Okay, welcome to Patty's World. I'm Patty. I'm a transformational and manifestation coach, and I help you shift into the highest version of you. Elevate your self-concept so that you align with all the desires of your heart and that you truly love your life because you weren't put on this earth to play small and to wake up every day in a monotony and really hate what you're doing, hate yourself, hate who you are, hate who you're surrounded with. If you're waking up in that mindset, this video is going to help you. First of all, you're here not by accident. I no longer believe in coincidences, but if you wake up with that mindset and holding that, dwelling in that energetic state, you're going to align with experiences and people at that same level that are just going to confirm and reaffirm. You can shift and change out of it. Absolutely, you can. No one's going to save you. You're your own superhero. You are an extension and an expression of God, of the divine, of source. And you're meant to have this life. And so it starts with, and here's the first thing I did when I first got into this. I was dealing with a bad breakup, and it triggered me in so many ways. And it triggered me in ways that a lot of stuff from my childhood, rejection and abandonment, betrayal, all these wounds that I hadn't really dealt with were coming up. And so I thought, I was in my early 40s, and I thought, I'm too old to still be going through this. I thought I had healed this. And why did I align with this? And why did this show up in my life? And now I realize I had to go through this because I was getting ready to elevate. It was meant to leave my life. I had to reprogram. It's really through that pain, turning that pain into power. It's really what got me into all of this through my own healing journey, which I came to understand that we're born whole and complete. We're whole and complete. We go through painful experiences, but you're not broken. And you can heal from them and transform them and transmute them into power. And if you align with it in your life, there is a powerful, valuable lesson of transformation, of growth, of elevation there for you if you choose to embrace it. If you stay in a victim mindset and victimhood, that someone's doing something to you, you're pretty much going to stay stuck. And stuck is just a belief because you're not really stuck. You're just in that hamster wheel of this always happens to me. But one of the things that I started doing when I was triggered all the time and those old limiting beliefs and your mind is spiraling, that story, that self-dialogue that's continuously on autoplay going through your mind of not good enough, not wanted, not chosen, I'm not loved, no one loves me, blah, 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 is that I had to learn how to soothe myself, nervous system regulation. And you will see as you go through your life, and maybe this will trigger you a little bit, there's a lot of grown adults who don't know how to soothe themselves, which is just coping or life management skills. They spiral or they default to things that'll numb them, like drugs, like alcohol, like SSRIs. There's even positive things to numb us, but I mean, those are healthy, right? Healthy addictions. But anything that's keeping you, that's numbing you from having to deal with the issue. Sometimes it's that addiction to the relationship, that toxic love, that hamster wheel. That's also a type of addiction. And I'm not here to talk to you about addiction, but soothing yourself. We don't learn nervous system regulation, and we don't learn how to tune into ourselves. What am I feeling? What am I thinking? What triggered this? What's the story I'm telling myself? We are looking at the outside, at the external for validation, for approval, for safety, for security. Tell me I'm okay. Tell me I'm not broken. What I realized in all of this, my love, and I hope you learn this too, is that love and security and safety you first have to give to yourself. It comes from that God within, that connection to source, power of the divine. You sit in stillness and feel those uncomfortable feelings, and you get very clear about what story am I telling myself? Is this true? When did I first hear this? Who was it? Who programmed this limiting belief that continues playing out in my life, that I'm not worthy of love, that I'm not chosen? Is it true? Is it real? And can I change it? and you can change it. And the first technique I ever did, and all techniques work if you're into conscious creation and law of assumption, all techniques work. The first one I did was meditation and self-hypnosis. And then I got into the other ones because I was just starting to learn this whole entire conscious creation. But I started meditating. And I had a trainer who also taught yoga, and he was big into meditation and the drum and binaural beats and really programming your subconscious mind. And he told me, Patty, do you meditate? And I started meditating. And I started with guided meditations. Because I didn't know how to do it. I thought there had to be some magic or some spell or somebody to teach you. There really isn't. It's just sitting in stillness with your thoughts, with yourself, and trying to just clear your mind and release. Now, again, I started with guided meditations and what felt true and real for me. And I have some that I've recorded myself, some self-hypnosis. They're on my channel. If you look onto Patty's World Meditations and self-hypnosis, they'll truly help you. But I started doing a self-love, self-worth meditation every day because what I realized is that deep within me, there was still the little girl who was looking for love and approval and a sense of worthiness in people and things in the relationship outside herself. That love and approval and sense of worthiness, I had to give myself, or I had to believe, I had to reprogram. So I started doing part of my nervous system regulation was the deep breathing, going off by myself. And I started meditating day and night, sometimes 3 times a day. I started sleep track affirmations. Even if it's hard to sleep with them, I get it. But put it on low volume, listen to it for 30 minutes and hours. You're falling asleep and then turn it off. It'll help you. You're in theta brainwave state. I've started to listen to them in the car. I still listen to affirmations and rampages. I don't even play music anymore. I'm constantly playing positive rampage affirmations because your mind is always listening. And you're always programming your mind. But there's different ways that you can soothe yourself when you're triggered. I started with meditation. You can do deep breathing, which is also what you do in yoga. It's that mind-body connection that teaches you how to get out of your mind and go back into your body and release all that heavy, dense energy. Release it and then breathe in life and release that heavy, dense emotion. That's what you're learning. What you learn in yoga, if you've ever taken a yoga class, that's really what it is. And you just engage your body, which is meditative. It's meditative. You can do walking meditations and put on a rampage and listen to those. Those will help soothe you because it's reprogramming your subconscious mind. It's reprogramming your mind. All those commands you're imprinting, you're impressing upon your mind, but you're also engaging your body. So it's a way of meditation. You can do journaling. There's a hand, mind, body connection that whatever you write down, it's programming into your mind. You can sing songs. You can do the deep breathing, like I said, the EFT tapping. I can do EFT tapping. I didn't get into it a lot. You can find a YouTube. You can find simple, easy YouTube videos that'll teach you how to EFT tap. And really what it is getting you out of your mind, back into your body and get you out of that spiral. That hamster wheel, right? It's of that going down the rabbit hole of, dooming and worst case scenarios, because that's just a habit. It's just a pattern you've gotten into of the world is ending and the sky is falling. And the minute you start to interrupt that pattern, you pause, you have awareness, you interrupt the pattern, and then you shift into what can I do now to bring me into a peaceful, calm state? Connect with my body. I could do deep breathing, box breathing, EFT tapping. I could turn on a meditation, self-hypnosis. I fully, firmly believe in self-hypnosis. Do ones you trust and believe in. I can journal. I can listen to some happy music. I could jump up and down. Anything that engages your body, your mind, relaxes you. You can take a nap. You can take a nap if you feel drained. Crying releases energy also. And connect your breath to it. When you get really good when you get really good at regulating your nervous system, which is just soothing yourself, really just soothing and calming and shifting yourself. When you get really good at that, you're able to, wherever you are, you just take a breath. Instead of spiraling, you shift into what do I prefer? And then you start commanding your mind. You get control of your thoughts. You will get so good at it. It's like exercise. The more you do it, the better you get at it. And really, you hear a lot of coaches and people talk about it, the nervous system regulation. When you're in the trigger, because remember the 3D, what's happening now in your reality is old news. It's based on an echo. So you don't have to react. Sometimes we react. If you react, it's okay. Go easy on yourself. Listen, I'm human. It happens. And then I shift back to always, this is one of my mantras, and I teach it to everyone I work with. Doesn't matter what I do or what I say. Circumstances don't matter because everything works out in my favor and I always get what I want. I don't know how. It's going to work out in my favor some way, somehow. And I shift back into who do I prefer to be? And I find ways to calm myself, soothe myself. Now I exercise. I've incorporated exercise into my daily routine. It's Mother Nature's antidepressant. I feel so good. I play rampages. I do a self-hypnosis. I play them in the car. I journal, journaling free sentences. I talk to myself. I make sure that my internal dialogue and my self-talk reflects the version of me who is living from a high self-concept. I talk to myself like I already am, because I am in the quantum field. That version of me existed deep within me. So I step into her now. That's the instant manifestation. And I embody her and I think like her and I talk like her and I imagine her. And what would I be focusing on? And what would I be giving my energy to? And it's a lot simpler for me to just release whatever was panicking me, which really happens fewer and fewer between. But I started with meditation. So if you don't meditate, start with guided ones. It will transform your life, doing day and night. I have simple ones, 5-minute ones, 10-minute ones. Start off your day with a morning meditation. There's some short ones. I think I have one that's like 10 minutes. Self-concept, I have a self-concept one, and self-love, self-worth, because I find that most of us are looking for someone or something, especially if you're struggling with love, you're looking for someone or something outside of you to fill that void that you think you have, but you don't. When you feel that calmness and that sense of love and security within yourself, I promise you the outside world will not trigger you. And when an undesired event shows up, you will be able to shift back into, nope, not in my reality. Nope, this doesn't happen. I don't accept that, not in my reality. This doesn't happen to me and everything always works out for me. Or you just don't, you kind of laugh at it like it's no big deal. It's just the bridge of incidents and I don't know how, but some way, somehow, this is all going to work in my favor because everything always does. And I promise you, the more I live this way and fully commit to this way of thinking, you will start experiencing incredible things. But it starts with you. Everything stems from you. Get very good at nervous system regulation. So when something that you don't prefer shows up, you don't spiral. You're able to soothe yourself. Breathing is a big part of it. I did this program called the release technique, and you don't have to buy it. Essentially, this is what it is that imagine your breath is healing and cleansing you. So you're triggered, you feel your heart rate go up, you start panicking, you're spiraling. You slow down your breathing. You take a deep breath in, you hold it for 4, 5, 6 seconds, and then release for 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds. And on that release, imagine yourself releasing that heavy emotion, the fear, the panic, the worst case scenarios. Just imagine it floating away like dark smoke leaving your body. And on every inhale, and you're slowing down your breath and then holding it in, on every inhale, imagine yourself taking in a breath of life, of growth, of healing energy, of abundance, because we live in an abundant universe. We live in an abundant universe, and the world is abundant. And so when you're taking in breath, you're taking in abundance and healing and strength and power and calming. And imagine it spreading throughout your body. And then hold that breath and then release. You do that 4, 5, 6, 7 times, you're going to calm down. It's going to take you out of that spiral, going down that rabbit hole, and you'll get better and better at shifting yourself into who do I prefer to be. Get very good at nervous system regulation. It will transform your life. And that is a big part of manifesting, because when you spiral, when you feel your nervous system dysregulated, you're holding that state. And if that is your predominant state, living from a dysregulated nervous system, well, you're aligning with more things that will trigger your nervous system, right? And you're constantly, you don't even realize it, that you're constantly just living and functioning in crisis mode until you're out of it, until you feel peace and you have healthy relationships and you no longer entertain chaos or toxic or craziness, and you live in peace. So then when you're around it, I mean, your nervous system will just go into, and you're like, oh, this isn't for me anymore. No, thank you. Not in my reality. And you shift out of it. And the more I got into this, into calmness and stillness and meditation, things when I was in survival mode, they fell off and they no longer appealed to me. That included people, friendships, the way I was showing up and the way that other people were showing up. And also, as you go throughout today, start paying attention to who, what relationships, friendships, love, things you're watching, things you're reading, the news are dysregulating you. What's triggering you? What's shifting you into a state of fear and panic and chaos? Even people's conversations about illness. Here's something that was very triggering for me was, because I'm 51 years old, and once you go through a health crisis, it can be kind of scary. So I don't even want to put energy into this, but let me detach. When we sit around and talk about our health, I'm like, I don't want to hear it. Don't put that in my mind. But now I've learned this mantra that doesn't apply to me. Nope, doesn't apply to me. I'm healthy and I embody health and I think myself healthy and I talk to myself like I'm healthy and I love my body and I speak life to my body. And so not in my reality, that doesn't apply to me. I don't absorb other people's fears or trauma, especially if they're not awakened, not in my reality. So pay attention to when you're around people who trigger your nervous system or make you feel dysregulated. Those are not your people anymore. You're elevating and you're getting an inner sense. That's your instinct, your inner God telling you, okay, this isn't for me anymore, right? And then going to regulation and let things take their course. Things will resolve themselves naturally, sometimes without you having to do anything. And always anchor in the belief, another mantra, everything's always working out in my favor. Everything always is. Everything is always working out in my favor. Okay? I hope this video helps you. Thank you for tuning in, sending you lots of love. And I'll see you all on the next one.